You know what, guys? I actually really like this standing video, so we're going to go ahead and give it another try. But I'm going to tell you right now, today is going to require a nice beverage because this is a pretty messed up story. I swear to God, this happens to me almost every time. I have tried pouring in a million different ways, okay? Just got to cut through it. Just got to cut through it. Okay. All right. So let's get started, you guys. YouTube, Rumble, Twitter. I hope you guys are all doing well today. Listen, I don't know about you guys, but when I think about people who join the law enforcement, I think it needs to be for certain reasons. You must have certain abilities and the willingness to throw down your own life in order to protect those that are weaker than you. And that especially means children. Now, I'm not just saying you need to recklessly throw your life away, but in a certain situation, you definitely need to put forth as much effort as you possibly can. I think as a police officer, you need to remember what you signed up for. And if it was for anything other than protecting and serving your community, then you're in the wrong business. You have to remember, if you sign up, you signed up knowing what the hell you were getting yourself into. Now, for those who do their job, I respect what you do. I myself, I could not imagine approaching a car over a traffic infraction. I have read enough stories and I've seen enough videos to know that it goes bad sometimes. It goes really bad sometimes. Now, with that said, I do respect those who do sign up for this. Make no mistake, I respect the blue to the fullest. But just like any profession, you guys, there is mediocrity or just people simply terrible at their jobs. And that ranges anywhere from doctors to lawyers to God knows what else. But if you sign up for a job that requires you to put your life on the line to protect those that are innocent and people end up dying because of that neglect, I'm sorry, you deserve to go to jail. It's really that simple. Which leads me into the headline of today's story, you guys. Jury acquits Scot Peterson, ex-deputy accused of failing to protect students in Parkland school shooting. Peterson, 60, faced with 7 counts of felony child neglect for 4 students killed and 3 wounded. Now, I do know what you guys are thinking. How in the world was someone who was bestowed with the power to protect and serve those in his community allow so many people to not only be injured but also killed? I literally cannot wrap my head around it. If I myself signed up for something like the military or police or firefighting, I expect there to be a level of danger that can put my life on the line almost every single day. If you take a job like this, you have to expect that your life is on the line every single day. There are innocent people counting on you, innocent children counting on you. Now, I do recognize that most days aren't going to be that insane. You're not going to walk into a shooting every single day. But every morning you wake up and put on that badge, you need to expect that things might get bad. Now, I'm not going to show the footage here, but I'm sure a lot of you have seen it of an officer who just so happened to be at a strip mall while he was talking to a mother and a couple kids, seemingly being extremely friendly and connecting with the community. And within that conversation, you can hear bullets ringing off in the distance. This officer did not hesitate. He went straight to his car, grabbed the weapon he needed, and proceeded to go directly towards the gunfire. He got within a certain distance of this shooter and put him down. He was not called to the scene. He was not told to engage. He took it upon himself to end that threat. Whether he was on duty or not, I believe that he would have done the same thing regardless. That, my friends, is a true hero. That, my friends, is a good officer. With that said, you guys, let's jump into the story. A jury Thursday acquitted a Broward Sheriff's deputy accused of failing to protect students during the 2018 Parkland school shooting. Jurors deliberated for 19 hours over 4 days in the case of former Broward County Sheriff's Deputy Scot Peterson, who remained outside a 3-story classroom building at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School during the gunman's 6-minute attack on February 14, 2018. Peterson, 60, was charged with 7 counts of felony child neglect for 4 students killed and 3 wounded on the 1200 building's 3rd floor. Peterson arrived at the building with his gun drawn 73 seconds before crews reached that floor, but instead of entering, he backed away as gunfire sounded. He has said he didn't know where the shots were coming from. Peterson was also charged with 3 counts of misdemeanor culpable negligence for the adult shot on the 3rd floor, including a teacher and an adult student who died. He also faced a perjury charge for allegedly lying to investigators. The jury Thursday acquitted Peterson of all 11 charges. Peterson broke down in tears and wept as the judge handed down the verdict. Now, you guys, I'm not saying that Scott needed to go to prison for the rest of his life or anything. I think that might be a little much. But to walk away with basically nothing actually makes me sad. I mean, obviously, he's not the monster who ultimately killed these kids and the teachers and whoever else was there. He's not the one who personally ended those people's lives. But had he actually acted on what he was supposed to do, some of them might still be alive today. And of course, I can't say definitively. But I will say this. If it were me in that situation and I knew I didn't do anything because I was scared of hearing some gunshots, I honestly don't think I could live with myself knowing that I could have done something to save at least one person. But let's continue on with the story, you guys. Peterson faced up to nearly 100 years in prison if convicted, although because of his clean record, a sentence anywhere near that length was highly unlikely. He also faced losing his $104,000 annual pension. He had spent nearly 3 decades working at schools, including 9 years at Stoneman Douglas. He retired shortly after the shooting and was then fired retroactively. Prosecutors did not charge Peterson in connection with the 11 killed and 13 wounded on the 1st floor before he arrived at the building. No one was shot on the 2nd floor. The trial began June 7th, and a jury, which included 4 women and 2 men, began deliberations Monday after hearing closing arguments. During the closings, prosecutors argued Peterson fled to safety during the shooting, putting his own life ahead of the children he was charged with protecting and giving the gunman time to fatally shoot several victims. Peterson could have located and stopped the gunman, prosecutor Kristen Gomes told the jury, but instead of opening a door, looking in a window, or seeking information from fleeing students, he chose to take shelter next to an adjoining building, Gomes said. That prevented him from confronting the gunman before he reached the third floor, where 6 of the shooter's 17 killings were committed. Even if he hadn't killed the gunman, his presence would have distracted him, giving students and teachers time to flee or hide, or cause him to surrender or commit suicide, Gomes said. And that honestly could not be more true. Even if he couldn't stop the killer in his tracks, at the very least he could have given people time to get away. Whether it was he engaged them directly himself, or the shooter got freaked out and then, ended up offing themselves. But instead, you guys, Peterson decided to be a coward, and he hid. And of course, without knowing a possible different outcome, at least one of the 6 that died on that floor, out of the total 17 that this horrible, horrible person killed, could have been saved. But again, you guys, I guess we'll never know. But that, you guys, is the end of the video. Would really appreciate to see your guys' comments down below. And of course, you guys, don't forget to like or dislike the video. Hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.